The service when Bob the organist, intercepted me. I've just been talking to Phil over there, and he agrees this is going to be a war. He was frothing at the mouth, and spittle hit my cheek. You're joking, right? This is some sort of gag? No. Bob the organist was not joking. He was not joking. I could see it in the flames behind his irises, the hair standing on the back of his neck, his fingernails extending, and the teeth extending from his snarling, musically insecure lips. What? What? I thought I was going to church, and I was going to lead some people in some good old gospel songs. Instead, I had entered the Wolverine's den. Church people. And their music. You don't know what to expect. And there was Phil. Phil, remember Phil, the pianist? Eventually, Phil had me over for dinner. And he gives me a gift. And I open the gift, and it's a capo. You know what a capo is? It's a device you put on the neck of a guitar so you can play different keys. And pianists, like Phil, the honky-tonk player that he is, plays mostly in flat keys. Guitarists, like me, mostly play in sharp keys. Was Phil telling me that I needed to play in sharp keys? Flat keys? You're joking, right? This is some sort of gag? No. Phil was not joking. Phil plays in flats. I could see it in his lifeless, zombie-like eyes. This was not the same warm, effervescent pianist that I had met on Sunday. No, come hell or high water, Phil was never going to be playing in sharps. What? I thought I was sitting down to a nice, spiceless, Midwestern meal with church folk. Instead, I had been invited to the Monsters Ball. Mark was the senior pastor who hired me. And since he was using me as live bait to bring out all the monsters in the church, he kept me on a short leash musically. That is, when he was around. I was also the youth pastor. So one night, I decided to have a party in the sanctuary and a rock band. And we rocked that sanctuary out so much, we blew the speakers. We blew the speakers in the sanctuary. Oh no! I'm so dead! He's gonna kill me! So the next morning, I'm frantically up there trying to take down the speaker enclosure when who walks in? Mark, the senior pastor. He says, "What you up to?" "Oh, I'm just dusting the speakers off before I take them down to get them fixed." What does he say? He says, "How can I help?" What? You're joking, right? This is some sort of gag. No, I could see in his eyes he was sincere, and he had that knowing smirk on his face. It didn't hurt that his son was in that rock band last night. I thought I was going to get emotionally cupped upside the head. Instead, I was offered a helping hand and forgiveness. Church people and their music. You don't know what to expect. Then there's me. I like killing sacred cows like kids eat candy. One of the things I like to do musically was play with genre and style, instrumentation, and I'd make up corny lyrics to sacred hymns and I'd sing them that morning. And my favorite was to take the sacred hymn and put it to a classic rock tune written by Leonard Skinner or Neil Young. And the people that showed up for church that day, they said, "What? This is some kind of joke, right? This is a gag?" No, this was no gag. I was serious about thrashing tradition and comfort. I was like a drunken driver careening down Main Street during the Arts Festival, wreaking havoc on all that they held dear in churchianity. You could see it in my eyes. I had a deranged love affair with pushing people's religious buttons. What? We thought we came to church to fall asleep during the sermon and sing the same old song 16 gazillion times. But instead, they hired a ghastly freak who loved playing his canoe paddle. Church people, you don't know what to expect. The views, characters, and names in this story have not been changed to not protect guilt. Madam President.